it all does start with a team that dismantled its top 5 defense by trading away its 2 best defensive players in a span of about an hour for multiple draft choices, first rounds as well. 2 ones for a 24-year-old corner in Sauce Gardner, who's just 3 years removed from being Offensive Rookie of the Year, or 2 years, really. Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Quinnen Williams, who's one of the best in the business.
Indeed.
And guys that Jets fans thought would be the lifetime Jets. And in the same way, you don't trade somebody like Micah Parsons at age 26 doing what he does. Those guys don't get traded. Neither do guys who are 27 like Quinnen Williams doing what he does, and somebody in their mid-20s like Sauce Gardner doing what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But just like everything with the Jets, it can't just be discussed in a vacuum. Which is why we begin today's show on, wait for it, January 4th, 2000.
Oh.
Why would I choose that date? Because in the year 2000,
I have no idea.
Excuse me, in the year 2000, it's just as I said, not in a vacuum. We're talking about this century that is a quarter of the way done. Bill Belichick on that day, January 4th, 2000, wrote on a cocktail napkin, "I am resigning as the HC of the NYJ."
NYJ,
He had just been named the head coach the day before.
That's right.
And he resigned. And the Parcells era that had the Jets having this guy as his defensive coordinator and the Jets on the precipice of the Super Bowl in an AFC championship game in Denver, only to run it back the next year with Vinny Testaverde, only to have him, wait for it, see if you've heard this one before, blow out his Achilles in the first game, and then have it go down the tubes. In that year of 2000, it started with that, and then 3 months later, the first-round selection, who was the centerpiece of the offense of the Parcells era, the first overall pick. Yes, kids, wide receivers used to get picked first overall. Keyshawn Johnson gets traded. Boom, boom. Belichick gone. Parcells is gone. Keyshawn's gone. And they traded him to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Stop me if you've heard that one before. And they got the 13th and 27th overall picks in the first round of the 2000 draft because they got a first rounder for Keyshawn. And, yeah, sure enough, this rebuild that led to Al Groh taking over the Jets with Wayne Krebet, this rebuild is one of their most successful. Because with that choice, they chose Jonathan Abraham. You remember John Abraham?
Yeah. Absolutely.
He got 53 and a half sacks for the Jets. He played 15 years, but only 6 with the Jets. And he was terrific. He tied Klecko and Gastineau's single-game record once with 4 sacks in a game. They also got Anthony Becht with the 27th overall pick. He was a 12-year pro, just played 5 for the Jets. And that worked out with Herman Edwards to the tune of Herm taking the team to the playoffs a few times and going 2-3. A high watermark is when they boat raced Peyton Manning out of the playoffs once. That happened, kids. But it bottomed out in 2005 when they went 4-12, despite having Hall of Famers named Ty Law, Curtis Martin, and Kevin Y on the team. But at any rate, so Abraham gets franchised, tagged, and he gets pissed because it was slapped on him. He didn't want it. Nope. And he wants to be traded, and the Jets oblige him in 2006. And they wound up trading him to Atlanta, and they got a first-round selection for that in the 2006 draft that turned into, may he rest in peace, Nick Mangold. And in that draft, they also used their own pick on DeBrickashaw Ferguson. That set up this offensive line, and that set things up for the next year. They drafted Darrelle Revis. And that eventually led to Rex Ryan showing up. And with Rex and Revis and Sanchez and Mangold and DeBrickashaw Ferguson, they made not one but 2 AFC championship games. So buttons got pushed, and the Jets got to the precipice again, only to have it fall to crap. And Darrelle Revis, who was a Jet, supposedly for life, he winds up having all these contract disputes that get played out on Hard Knocks, and he wants to be traded, and the Jets oblige him. Stop me, you've heard this before? Trade him to Tampa for a 2013 NFL draft overall draft choice, number 13 overall, who turned into Sheldon Richardson. And he played a grand total of 4 years for the New York Jets. They also got a 4th-round pick in Jalen Saunders, who is not in the Jets' Ring of Honor. So that one didn't work out so well because Rex bottoms out. He gone. Jets do nothing. I mean, Rex went 4-2 in the playoffs. The 2 losses in the AFC Championship game. The high water mark is when they knocked Tom Brady out of the playoffs.
Yep.
You know, can't wait, all that stuff.
Can't wait.
Didn't lead to a ring, though. Came close. But it all bottoms out again. 2018, new-fangled Broadway Sam shows up. It's not the same Darnold Jets. That I had a T-shirt. Charlie Yook, King of Spring of the NFL Network, gave me that for my birthday. Thank you, Charlie. That's now a relic. He shows up, 3rd overall pick in 2018. Yes, kids, the kid who's killing it right now for the Seahawks.
Seen ghosts.
Had that happen to him while he was a Jet. And Todd Bowles is the coach. They fire him after drafting Darnold because they want to hook him up with an offensive guru, and the guy that they hook him up with is Adam Gase.
See, incognito.
I think, was he looking around for
A way out.
an exit sign?
He was looking for tacos.
It's Gase. 2 seasons with him. He gone. And sure enough, in comes Robert Saleh because Gase bottomed out so badly, they have the 2nd overall pick. And they use it on Zach Wilson. And welcome from BYU to New York City, from BYU to NYC. Zach, he's the hope. So we got to trade Darnold, right? And they off Darnold to the Panthers in exchange for a 6th-round pick in 2021 plus a 2nd and a 4th in the 2022 draft, which the Jets crushed. They crushed. Because guess who showed up with that 2nd-round draft choice? Breece Hall. Breece Hall. And in that draft, in the 1st round, they used the 2nd of their 3 first-rounders on Garrett Wilson. Yep, that's what they did. Oh, by the way, the reason why they had Garrett Wilson, and they had the draft choice for him, is because in between Darnold and Zach Wilson, they traded away Jamal Adams as another reset to Seattle, which gave them 2 first-rounders, including
That was a great trade.
the one they used on Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that was a great trade.
Who wound up yesterday being untouchable, along with apparently Breece Hall. But Sauce, who they chose as their first draft choice in 2022, he's gone for 2 1s as there's another reset. I actually decided to use artificial intelligence. And I went to the old AI machine and I put in how many rebuilds have there been for the Jets?
Oh, goodness.
How many Jets rebuilds have there been? And this is what shows up. Post Namath decline. Search for success that included Coslet, Carroll, and Kotite.
Uh-oh.
The Bill Parcells era, the post Parcells, Edwards era, and then also post Rex Ryan. Oh, there's a name that we haven't mentioned yet, Robert Saleh, and there's another name that we haven't mentioned yet, in Eric Mangini, because 2 of the other reset/rebuilds included 2 defensive-minded head coaches who got their first head coaching gigs with the Jets, and it all went down the tubes eventually for them because the Packers' future first-ballot Hall of Famer 2.0s didn't work out for them. Favre for Mangini, although didn't Mangini name one of his kids Favre, the middle name, or Brett? Got a tattoo or something? I don't remember. And Saleh, obviously, as we all know, famously with Aaron Rodgers. So it's kind of a tough sell when you're the general manager fresh to the job in Darren Muji to sell this thing as hope. I know he's new. Aaron Glenn knows all about this stuff because he was part of the Parcells era. But he's new to the gig, and we can't put all the last, wait for it, quarter century on top of him. Although you look at the AI, this goes back to the Nixon administration.
Yeah.
But he's going to go out there and sell this to the Jets fan base as hope. Hit it.
Darren, Brees Hall, what went into, if you're going to trade these two guys, what went into not trading Brees? Because it would seem like the guy who's a pending free agent would be part of the teardown here.
I wouldn't call it a teardown, and I understand the question, but like I said, through these processes, we talk about a lot of things, and we field a lot of calls, and we've got values, and Brees is a talented player, and he's going to help us compete and win games the rest of the season.
Except, maybe not this Sunday, but, you know, he's right, though. It's not a teardown. They didn't trade Brees, who bless him, because at this point in time, he's a free agent. He can walk. I mean, I guess they can do their best to try and keep him. Crazier things have happened. I do remember everybody thought Reggie Wayne. I do remember Reggie Wayne was gone. Everybody thought in Indianapolis when they were sucking for luck, and he stayed. And look at what happened. I understand. And they thankfully looked at Garrett Wilson and said, "Not him. Yeah. Not today." Correct. And again, we don't know how large the iceberg is underneath, and Aaron Glenn and Muji and everybody else there have taken stock on who's on the boat and who's not, who's rowing against us and who's rowing with us. I get it. I understand. And plus 2 1s is tough to turn down, even for somebody as young and good as Sauce. But I think Joe Manganiello, bless him, who's enjoying the fruits of his Aaron Rodgers labor, unlike some of the Jets fans over the last 2 years, although it's a different organization, as this last 12 minutes have pointed out in Pittsburgh, than it is for the Jets. He sent me this post, this tweet. I don't know who Zoo Kruger is. I do know he's got a Namath emoji.
I saw this yesterday.
But this sums it up. Yep. If you weren't with the Jets during the rebuild, don't be with us during the rebuild.
Very funny.
As we said yesterday, it's like now is when all of the assets that we've had because we rebuilt before and we came close with, or the rebuild assets that we got that we didn't come close with, and thus we have to trade them for another rebuild. All of those assets who rebuilt the team into just having to rebuild again because we didn't have this right or that right. Now is when it turns.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's a tough one. It's a very tough one. But you do have to go on. They do have multiple draft choices in the first and second days for the next 2 drafts that they can actually build the team with. You know, Matt Miller, our colleague at the Worldwide Leader, says the 2027 draft, that's the one that's going to be loaded. That's the one that the Jets have the Colts' first-round pick, Dallas's first-round pick, and their own first-round pick.
That'll be in Washington, D.C., by the way.
And that, again, it's just, hey, Jets fans, you just got to hope that this thing turns around faster.
Man, hope is not a strategy.
Hope that Aaron Glenn has got it. Again, they started 0-10-1 in Detroit with Dan Campbell, and then 1-5 the next year, something like that. Yeah. And then it turned around. Now look at him. Yeah. So you got to hope. And that Muji is the one, unlike, Isaac and Bradway and Douglas and all the other general managers who have come and gone as part of the rebuilds nail it, and then you pay them and you keep them, and they're happy. And you win, and you turn into, say, the Patriots all of a sudden, or the Lions, or Seahawks with Darnold. Colts. But in the meantime, if you weren't with him for the rebuild, then we don't want you for this rebuild.
He definitely said that.
Not in a vacuum. You can't look at it in a vacuum. You certainly cannot look at it in a vacuum.
Really good.
46 years.
And that's the way it goes. But they do have the draft choices, but they don't have Quinnen Williams and they don't have Darrelle Revis anymore. And those are the guys, as part of the rebuild, who are supposed to build something where you don't trade them and you keep winning, and you don't churn through coaches and general managers and you win. But now this is it. That's why they call fans, it's a base of fanatics. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.